Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to another recording of Hand of Fate 2. So, one of the strategy guides that I looked at said that we really should have this sun challenge completed just by defeating the moon challenge, but obviously the strategy guide is wrong. So the only other thought that we can do is defeat Star and or work towards unlocking Devil, both of which may be the actual stoppers that are happening here. So I wanted to run in quickly to this encounter. We've got a decent amount of cards that are labeled new that we once again just kind of need to figure out what they do and see if we can get the tokens from them to potentially snowball the progress of having new weapons and new items available. And so I've picked a selection here that is mostly around that idea of getting tokens and less around the idea of actually succeeding. The Star mages are opening a gate to the underworld in the dark corners of the Empire. Close portals before it's too late. Ancient magics, the relics with only death on their owners. Prepared to scrounge life where you can. Gambits. Keep your wits about you when dealing with magic and mage. And the damned what comes crawling from the portals. Prepare the combat against corrupted. So almost certainly I don't have a good build for this encounter. But also I don't really remember this encounter. I only did it maybe once or twice. So it would be helpful. And it seems like there is only a gold coin in this one. I don't think I have already gotten silver on this. Let's see. We'll ask about things just to see if that gives us anything. So you reveal 10 food when you reveal all of the things. So we know this whole scenario is like the first thing I think you run into is this goblet.
Games.
So it feels like the goblet is itself potentially important. And this is a scenario where you are getting easier challenges, but you're losing 10 life every time. And so the game could drain you to 0 in the very first play. Which would make a great argument to have Colborn with us, but we don't have Colborn, he's dead.
Well done. You continue to impress. So, we need to find the portal very quickly. Let's see, what equipment can we buy? First of all, let's figure out what this does. Doesn't look that interesting. Could we get to 28 gold? Because if we can't even get that high, then there's just no point in discussing it. Yep, that's the case. Should we buy food? Nope, I'm not going to bother with it. I'm just going to go up here. So forfeit equipment, I guess. We lose some armor. So
if I investigate the cave, do we get rid of the goblet early? You throw that in there and you just move to the next level. So you don't have the opportunity here to grab the goblet and then throw it in the portal, then investigate the rest of the level. Now, our blacksmith character may be really helpful. And corrupted zombies like this, I mean, you're just not really going to get a lot of opportunity to defend from them, because they just don't attack that often. So any item that is a shield that would unlock some reward for defending is almost certainly not a good item for this scenario, I now see.
Next time, bring more food.
Lose 20 fame. Now we have the dagger. And the dagger's cursed.
The damage taken from starvation is more than the healing delivered by eating. As with many things, we find ourselves sliding further and further into hardship.
It kind of feels like what you should have here.
There are benefits to besting the devil, not least of which are the new friends you will meet along the way.
Starting with extra fame. So here we have the demonary. Are you the one who ruined Apollon's fun? A woman with the pointiest face you've ever seen approaches from the shadows of one night. Yes, you are, she laughs. How delightful. Did he cry? He used to be such a crier in our youth. Oh, you're wonderful. She pokes you at your bicep. I'll remove your curses, if you like. Although, it goes against our own nature to gift without games. She throws you some silver die. Here, roll your luck. I'll split it by 6 and lift that number of curses from your soul. 6 is a lovely number, don't you think? That's why I have 6 fingers on my left hand. You glance at her hand in alarm. It's a hoof. So if we get 18, we would lose 3 curses. We only have 2. Oh, what a roll. The demon winks, pulls an abacus and flicks some counting beans around. 1. The demon flings the abacus to the floor and it shatters like glass. That's hardly enough to sate my hunger, but it'll have to do. So to get the shard there, we would need to roll 18. You feel pull of your soul as the demon wrenches the curses from you. She smiles at your discomfort. Still laughing about you, Apollon's failure, the woman waves goodbye and disappears into the night. So that's a very good card for this scenario. But also we are just about to die. Ask about curse removal. We would need to use fame. By healing, we can heal. We have no more money. So that's a pretty good card if we had fame.
Here's a token for you, if you can earn it.
And we are at game over at this point. Because we'll just start over.
Hunger gnaws at us once more and leaves us dead and unfulfilled.
So we did learn a decent amount there. One thing we know is that, unfortunately, we really could do well to have Colborne, and we can't play Colborne. We know that this is good. This is probably not it. This is probably not it. This is not worth anything. This is definitely not one to do. That's not one we want to do. We still have a decent number of unknowns. This would gain gold. And I think what we're looking for here is probably things that would have us gain. Where's our companion quest? Must already be in there. Trying to find curse removal would be my guess as to what we're looking for. Which means this one might choose a resource and give us fame. Or I don't think this one would be another one to take. If we could have more than one platinum card, that'd be fun. Nice. We probably want to play that one. Let's see. Probably don't want to play that brimstone card. Even though you could have max brimstone cards. If there was some way that things turned around, though, and you had brimstone cards being very valuable, that would be an intriguing way to make people want to continue to play the game a lot more. But if something like that was going to happen, it almost certainly would happen. I guess what we're looking for is blessing cards. Those are the only things that actually would counter curses. Yeah, if you beat the whole game in all 22 of these challenges, and then it made the game way easier, you would have to be put on a weird path to completely continue playing just to unlock card events. I'm not seeing a lot of things that give you fame either. Which maybe there's a trick to that. But I don't know what the trick would be. There's so many cards. So many cards. Now, just that to potentially even consider. Do I really want to change any weapons? Probably not. Let's get rid of the buckler and start with this. And get rid of this and start with that. Though maybe it's better to start with that. So run number 2. And honestly, I have very little faith that if I went back and tried to get gold in some of the other missions, whether that would potentially unlock the last couple of missions to play. Of course, I could just go for gold, and I could play off screen quite a bit, frankly. It'd probably be better if that was the case. And just try and go for gold on a lot of cards. And as far as I can tell, this is the right way to do this. But without any kind of cheat, you're going to take some major damage. It's like this very first step is telling you you need Colborne on your side. If you don't have Colborne, you might as well not play. Maybe there is a different way to play this, though, that I'm not realizing. Instead of taking 20 damage this way, maybe you just grab the goblet at some point. So by giving away a bunch of food, now I think that might put us in a better position. So we don't lose it with the starving curse, and we can regain the food and more later on. Of course, I have to actually make it to the harvest. These skeletons are pushovers. So we'll get rid of the skeletons first. Power our way through the thieves. Here we have a platinum equipment card. So first thing to do is figure out what this is. It's a high fame requirement. Defeat 7 ogres with this item to unlock its shard. Bleed bash resists fire. An ogre damage from fire is reduced by 40%. Whereas Gambler's Jewel is almost certainly the right move. And this would be Wheel Gambits. For fame. Also from doing that. Let's see, what equipment can we see? Here we have a weapon for defeating the Empire. And then what's the cheapest thing that we might actually want to buy? 18? Can we sell equipment to get to 18? No, because the only thing we have is the ring.
Be careful. All debts come due in time.
You arrange to meet a Badger, a shady businessman whose main line of work involves offering bad loans to people who are desperate or foolish to say no. You decide that your current circumstances demand such drastic actions to undertake such propositions. Borrow money from Badger. Well, Badger prompts you looking for a loan or a job. Let's see. Let's borrow 50 gold. You look like a trustworthy sort, Badger says aspiringly. How much money would you like to borrow? 50. So now we have 75 that must be paid back in 7 steps. So, here's a general store. How can we spend this money effectively? Can't wear that. We could defeat 50 corrupted with this weapon. So double our damage. And probably not a terrible idea to buy some healing. And probably not a terrible idea to buy some food. So we're wasting that money very quickly in the hopes that
we so
just
rarely
can't.
stop and dwell on
He
the
won't
uneventful
instantly
moments
kill
of
you or
your
something.
histories. Yet life is constructed of so many of them, stitched in between the flashes of excitement.
Now, it may have been a mistake to use our character that time. So, when you bump it out from 4 to 5, whatever card is in the middle is going to probably stay in the middle every time. So that drastically changes your odds of winning, because either whatever card in the middle was a bad card and you avoid it with extra information, or it's a good card and you select it and then you're 100% going to succeed.
I'm not a vain man. You must appreciate
This is spinning
that
way
the
too
game,
fast.
This game has been my focus for more years than I can count. I have a certain pride regarding its twists and turns.
So we've got some coins. And so here's the payback card. Badger's goons soon catch up with you. And we have a lot of people, and our companion is knocked out. Well, you either got it or you don't. We have 75 gold. Having 50 and then paying back 75 in 7 turns seems kind of crazy. Tell me you don't have the money. One would assume that this feels like this is where the reward would happen, though, is that you would then be attacked by a bunch of loan shark enforcers. Let's get rid of these bomb chuckers. I'm gonna win here, but I'm not sure I'm gonna be super happy with where my life is at that point. I also wouldn't be surprised if we don't get a token for this. This isn't over.
I did warn you about paying your debts.
So we got 10 extra food for going everywhere. We throw the goblin in here and we'll find some corrupted. Next time I would play the loan shark, I would probably see if loaning 10 and returning what would probably be about 35 would be considered good enough to get the token. There's a deep thumping happening here with every hit. It's a little too much bass, in my opinion. Also, it's kind of one of very few sound effects. Three pain life cards? I don't think so. Gold, 3 gold, or lose 20 fame. I think we'll just lose gold. Gain 2 fame. End up with another curse. End up with another cursed object. So here we have the far north. I think we've done this one before. So I think the far north challenge that just drained all of my food. So we're gonna take starvation now.
Starvation has been the end of many adventurers.
So unless we get really lucky on this roll, which even getting really lucky on this roll, I don't know if that's going to be good enough to do this far north challenge brimstone card. I should have probably just abandoned it. I mean, we've got to abandon the quest because we're going to starve to death regardless. So I have a 50-50 shot here unless I could camp and buy food. Let's try this. This is really just a case of trying to get one more step to see one more thing. Then we're gonna lose again. I don't feel like we're really making any great progress towards actual success here.
I would hope you know better than to keep counsel with the Fae. Those deals never work well for your kind.
In the depth of the forest, you find a young woman crying, her child tugging at her skirt. She tells you that her eldest has disappeared after ignoring a warning about the fairy ring. You notice a circle of toadstools in the meadow nearby. You offer to help find her child. As you step in the middle of a ring, everything fades, your vision returns, but the forest is no longer the same. The trees are purple and the sky shines yellow with a bright blue sun. Heading through the strange forest, you encounter a brownie with a head too big for his body. I'm so hungry, will you spare me some food? He says. Don't give him any food because we don't have any. But I'm hungry, he says, and he begins to well up. As he bursts into tears, he grows into as tall as a house. He tries to devour you, but you dodge his attack. He chases you through the forest. The path ends suddenly and you run off the edge of a cliff into the rapids. You swim to shore and realize that the forest has returned to its usual green color and the sky to its usual blue. Having lost your bearings, you forget about the woman and her lost child. The dealer moves you to a random encounter. And you starve to death.
Slain. In time, you will gain the skills.
Maybe I didn't actually starve to death in that encounter. Maybe I just took some other kinds of damage. Alright. Fail fast, fail often. Are we learning anything different as far as what encounters we'd really want to run into? Well, the far north is a terrible card. I don't know why that was even in there. Fairy Ring, also not a card worth playing. And Lone Shark. I just don't think probably is a card to play either. This is Dice Gambit, which would give you gold. So we should do that one. This is a Dice Gambit. Let's take that one also. And let's see what else we can do now. Slow Swing and Stun Blast. Probably don't need that one. This one we now know what does. Gold is added to a random encounter at the start of each new map. Interesting. If you had that equipped and you had a really big map, that might make some sense. Meanwhile, we'll just scroll down until we see something marked new, which almost certainly we should see. And we should probably take that too. Take that one, take that one. I kind of wonder if there wouldn't be a card that would help you better. Like Tiger's Eye might be better, or if there's one that would give you something for having more curses or something. Starting with 5 fame, in this case didn't help. Starting with food, I think is a mistake. Yeah. Starting with gold, that's a mistake. We should have healing spirits, I guess. And then gold. And really, probably not healing spirits, but instead Fate's Path. Because we start with a... Yeah, you start with the blessing, always. So, and we kind of know where all the exits are. So... all I need to do is like go up 3 and to the left. I'm gonna shake one of them, and then I'm gonna take the goblet away and see what that does. That's -5 max life, and then we have to roll. Still. So taking the goblet away on the second chance is not wise. Although that did...
Back to the bones. I hope you have learned to be their master.
More max life being lost. And I just don't think there's ever a scenario where you really want to lose max life. Okay, so the middle card is a failure card. So, obviously don't do that. 50-50 shot here. Well, not really. 1 in 4 shot. Now we're fighting an ogre for that failure. But with our companion, fighting an ogre may not be as deadly as it seems. Well, we don't have our companion, do we? And he kind of uniquely gets his axe stuck. But there's a real pattern here you have to deal with as far as dodge, block, roll. Which maybe there are patterns for just like every enemy out there. So Fate's Path now has revealed every card. Let's go into the faster mode first. So we haven't done this pumpkin one. Bitter Winter. We definitely would want to skip the Inquisitors on the lower left and mid left. But I think what we want to do is go here. So we've never gotten a shard here, but we've never been to a point where we could give 2 blessings. So maybe that's the trick. That does make me wonder if maybe giving 3 blessings would have been an option. You gaze into the flames of the festivals around you, you wake to find yourself in a stable, blah blah blah. So we have finally gotten that shard, and we really have no reason to ever do that again. Let's see if we can get to harvest. Gold.
This town has been the home of much. It has changed over the years.
See if we can get this companion quest done now. You arrive at the town of Stiegel. Erdene seems enthusiastic about returning to her hometown. There's not much here to see. Erdene looks at the town center. There's nothing like this. It's nothing like the city. We do not have a fortune teller. We do have a fortune teller, though. She's great. So we required a mechanical oddity for your poor Anders forge. Now we need a special pumpkin. Thankfully, my mother grows the famed Stiegel pumpkins herself. Stiegel's town center is unremarkable apart from the beautiful clock tower and the small cluster of tents tucked into a shaded corner away from the hustle and bustle. Let's see. Let's ask what the pumpkin will be used for. To fix the forge, of course. Okay. Let's visit the fortune teller. The fortune teller is withered with age and drapes in gaudy fabric. She barely registers your arrival at her stall. Ask for Borden's future. Ask for Andre's future. Ask for your future. Imminent carnage. You are barreling headlong into imminent carnage. If you do not take care, the seer looks with pale, watery eyes. Everything will be lost. She will die alongside a hero. A glorious death is her blessing. Ariande nods her head. It's word for word what she told me when I was a tot. I won't keel over pulling up turnips. I'm gonna die a hero. Ask for Borden's future. Borden of Fall Hollow will bring great peril onto his family, but they will forgive him as they have before. That is his curse. Okay. See if we can approach the tents. A cooked family are furtively huddled in a small fire pit. As if worried, so will somebody try and stop them. Just talk to them. The mother and father automatically step defensively in front of the soup, pulling the children behind them. Ask them why they're so protective of the soup. The father laughs weirdly. Because we're starving, we don't know where our next meal will come from, or even whether Stiegel will make us move on. Ask who they are. The mother cinches a rope. We are from Farwater, but I doubt that means anything to you. Ordinary chimes saying Farwater is where the great Silora River meets the sea. Too much jargon, frankly, unless the game was going to show me a map of this world. The father looks surprised and then terribly sad. Yes, hero. The most beautiful town in this land, and we don't know when we can ever return there. The Empire has taken our homes and set up the war towers to push into the north. When will they stop? See if we can offer to help. Will you order the Emperor to stop his push into the north? Can you stop the Northerners from retaliating? The mother returns to the soup, tired of the conversation. Of course you cannot. You cannot help us. Leave them be. Eridan shakes her head. Those poor sods. So we've done everything other than visit the mother now. Ariande's, I know I'm mispronouncing the name, mother lives in a farmhouse on the fringe of Stiegel. She is much, much shorter than Ariandne. I don't really know how you would pronounce it. Decidedly average. Her mousy brown hair is cropped short, and her thin face seems frozen in a mask of anxiety. Ariande's mother, Bethel, clatters about the kitchen with a pained look in her face. Ask about the father. A calm comes over Bethel's face as she talks about her husband. My husband forged the armor for the Emperor himself. I'm a hero, Ma. Ariande pipes up like a child who feels the attention slipping to a rival. People are going to know who I am. I'm going to die a hero's death. Don't say that, Ari. You're not going to die. Everybody dies, Ma. At least I'll die a hero's death, unlike father. Alright, so we've done everything here, so let's just ask for the pumpkin. It seems like this is a straightforward companion quest, just to give you a lot of dialogue choices if you want to read them. Although you can't really revisit these encounters that much. And if that was going to be the way all companion quests went, I would have preferred it to be more consistent like that, where you just always would get a win always scenario, a no-lose scenario, where it was just a bunch of dialogue and you could just tap the A button to the end. Her face lights up. Oh, you're planning to follow in your father's footsteps. Oh, Ari, that's wonderful. No, I'm not. Ariande frowns. I'm rebuilding the forge for a friend. Her mother sighs, leaves the room, returning with a pumpkin as round as a water barrel. That's the last of the harvest.
A reward well earned.
Ariande's mother, Bethel, clatters about the kitchen with a pained look on her face. Return to her town center. And then leave. And there's just no reason whatsoever to do anything else. Let's see. 42 gold. We're unlikely to be able to afford that. Buying food. We can't afford that. So we move on. So once again, this may not be a winning combination of cards, but we are making progress on cards and figuring out what cards do. Guys are pushovers. Now the good news is I think this card is a card that is supposed to be killing corrupted with it. So we might very well be making some progress on our weapon. We should double check that. I don't think I've ever gotten past the second floor on this level, and I'm still in a very bad position to actually accomplish that. Yeah. We're about halfway done as far as defeating corrupted.
Your supplies are running low. Make your choices carefully.
Let's see. I don't have that many gold, so let's just lose all of our gold. So then we also kind of know that the end is almost certainly on the right side there, so we should walk to the right quickly. Let's go ahead and just refuse and see if they decide to make me fight for it. Now I'm trying to trigger the ability here, and weirdly her ability doesn't seem to want to trigger. I'm not really sure why her ability wouldn't have triggered. There we can finally use the ability. These fights feel like they have gotten easier, and I wonder if that isn't just a case of me getting better at the game. Unfortunately, we are like way too far into the game for that to be a deal. Or change how I would enjoy the game. If I got better after just a few hours, there'd be something interesting around that. We're also good with food now. It seems like with every step we are also...
These tokens represent the expansion of the game. More options, more cards, more opportunities.
So, illicit trade. You approach a weapon merchant's carriage tucked away in the shadiest part of town. As you take a seat opposite the merchant Esmeralda, you notice a fearsome weapon on display. Ask about the weapon on display. It is Edisiah's charm. Great. That is something we would love to have. Get a massive amount of food. A lad in the town is trading me a prize mare for the shining beauty, but if you want to take it now, I'll sell it to you for 50 gold. We don't have 50 gold. Ask about the other wares. She kicks a panel under her seat and a secret compartment opens, unveiling the stack she has to offer. can at least now know. Life received from consuming food could be increased by 50%. I'm not sure if I'd want to take anything else here. See, even though mages are opening the portals, I don't think you actually fight mages in this scenario. You might want that, but probably would take this. How about we make a deal? The bells on a robe tinkle as she leads you to the door, pressing the equipment into your arms. In a few moments, soldiers are going to storm through here and raid my respectable establishment. You take this for free and I run.
Earth magic. Literally.
Shouts echo up the alleyway, spooking the carriage horses. Oh, thank you. Esmeralda pushes you out of her carriage and into the alleyway. You find yourself completely surrounded by Empire guards. Interesting. So whatever I chose to take was going to lead to a fight, it seems. Even if I hadn't taken anything, it probably would have led to a fight. I also suspect what we'll find is that I needed to have purchased the item with the 50 gold. To get the token. Okay, are we gonna get the token? Esmeralda whips her horse and carriage into motion. She waves at you as you escape. Tell Malclips I said hello. You scavenge what you can find from the dead. You gain 4 fame. So that is another token. You're doing well today. Alright. We definitely want to finish this marketplace thief. So we know the center is bad. So it's a 1 in 4 chance for huge success. The thief is nimble, but you manage to gain on them as they negotiate the crowd. With the thief almost at arm's reach, they knock over a barrel of apples in an attempt to hinder you. Wow. So the first gambit only gets you to a dice roll. The second gambit is a dice roll. Does that mean there's going to be a third gambit of a precision swing or even a wheel of fortune? Leap over the rolling apples and tackle the thief to the ground. You gain on the thief. The thief struggles to break free. If you let me keep these here items and let me go, of course I'll let you in on a secret. The thief bargains. I guess we have to accept the offer. You gingerly release the thief. Do not worry about your stuff, the thief says as he dusts himself off. Think of it as an investment. My name is Merrick. Perhaps I could teach you a thing or two if you prove yourself. He pauses. Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Meet me at noon in 2 days at the Market Plaza. We can talk more then. And with that, Merrick disappears back into the crowd. So, almost certainly that was a card that was supposed to have been accomplished, I think, a lot earlier than what I'm accomplishing it on.
A balance of resources is key. No one wants to perish wealthy but
Take
starving.
some coins from the well. And then we're probably just looking
The
for
pendulum swings
silver.
like a scythe.
I don't
bearing
think there's a
hope
reason
or
not to just go for the bigger silver. Gods do not take kindly to your plundering. We now have 1 gold we will lose every time we starve. We're about to lose again.
Never trust an eternal creature without ambition. Such a waste.
And we fail horribly. And we now have another curse on ourselves. All we can do now is use our artifact one more time and trade. Just sell the artifact for 1 is not even worth it, I imagine. Buy food. See what equipment is available. Not that we can actually afford any of it. So the game actually has to exit down here. Well, you're the mercenaries who saved West End. The soldiers are suitably impressed. The commander bows and allows you to continue on your way. So we finally have enough fame, so they're not going to just take our items.
There is a reason the Empire has outlawed mages and their work. Magic can undo everything they have done.
We must have lost our blessing at some point. So we just have a whole bunch of curses. And I guess I'm more interested in seeing what the 3rd level looks like than seeing what the 1 face down event card is. So let's do this.
Your artifact is empty now and will be of little use to you here.
But there's 1 more level after this level, and still way too many curses. Let's see. Let's try and just kill as many of the root corrupted as possible. Now, did we win? No.
End to your
But
life
we made
and
massive
to your
progress.
struggle.
3 token cards. For obtaining the Stegial Pumpkin, we now have Terravane Ore companion quest. For taking the heat from Esmeralda the Merchant, we now have Merchant's Favor as a platinum card. And for finally finishing the Market Thief quest, accepting the Thief from Eric's offer, we have a Pickpocket quest. So, what can we improve upon more? You can add that, you can add that. Removing curses still feels like a great move. There's no reason to have that card anymore. Kind of know what's going to happen there. Food-wise, this is probably a mistake. And think that's probably a mistake too. Let's see, fairy ring is wrong. Still not really sure what the gnomish exchange card is supposed to do. Loan shark is wrong. This one's probably one worth trying. And if we've got cards that would reveal things, probably should try that. Platinum card limit reached. Which means we're gonna have to figure out what this does first. Okay. Now, how are we with Dark Thirst? Still needs a lot of improvement there. This one's probably not worth taking. Let's see if we can get rid of that one. Get rid of that one. We're really not getting Colburn's sword very often. Apparently there's a brimstone version of the priestess experience. That the 3 of the missions have even more difficult versions of them. I'm not really sure why you would feel the need to take on an even more difficult version of 3 of the challenges. It seems kind of silly to me. Two map encounters at the start of each map. Might not be a terrible item. Do we have anything else that would... The pious robes are pretty obvious that they should be
You
an
like
item.
that one, don't you?
Reduce pain cards. It's probably not a terrible one to have. And would we want to change anything else? I mean, you could have a little bit more food instead of healing. So it's kind of 50-50 chance here. We are still just trying to learn and unlock tokens from cards, but also we're hoping that we can actually succeed at unlocking the next challenge. Just get really lucky on this challenge. And I guess I'll give it a few tries, but at some point I probably also just have to give up. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, and keep on watching. Thanks.